skirmishing potential there, I think, especially for the side of Victory 5 with the Olaf. You can be looking to make some of these like early plays for dragons. You're gonna have a bit more prio in mid lane once we hit around
the way Shadow has actually pathed himself. It means he's going to have to run straight through this mid lane. But the mid laners are low on mana and a little bit low on health bars as they try and roll away. But PZX now being jumped on by Shadow. Wind becomes lightning good at breaking this one down. There's a nice command protect here. Shadow. Oh, PZX! Nicely done. Flashing over the wall, punishing Xie nicely.
Oh, the bot lane's here.
Oh, they're here. They've got themselves a hook. They've got Shadow, and oh my god, it's all gone wrong for LGD. V5 have come to play.
And this was all we wanted, Penguin. We wanted action. We wanted blood. Back in gold, where he was about a few hundred gold down before, now only sitting 100 behind. And now, okay, Realm Warp top.
Realm Warp top. This is a 2v4 right now. Fearness has no flash. There is going to be a hook and a kill. PZX picks up his second kill of the game, and that means V5 have total control around this Rift Herald, but LGD not to be outdone will push in the mid. We're gonna just actually give this one up after getting the proactive kill.
I feel like the thing is that with the play top side, Uniboy.
Uniboy almost gets caught out, does have to flash away, but now we might see a re-engage coming in. There's a Chain of Corruption going down, but I do believe it got eaten up a little bit by the Gwen. Missed, and they try and go for the fly. LGD have nowhere to go. They've used everything, they missed it all, and V5 do not disappoint their fans and get themselves Rift Herald and a couple more kills. Good on the L team fights and assists. We do see a teleport coming up into this top side, but there's a lot of members of V5 here. In fairness, you might have teleported right into your death. They're going to commit another teleport off of the back of that as they do commit the ultimate there from ZYF as he has to get himself out. They will get the knock-up and stop Allies from getting the reset. So much CC. Finally, we do see LGD picking up another kill, and they get themselves a bit of a response back in the top side dive.
Really nice response coming out from, I think, especially Shadow and Mark. Shea having the TP, so being able to join up at any time. Long never able to pick up the possession.
That is a lot of CC. That was all the Alistair as well. Mark getting him with the head buff, gets him with the pulverize. Really nicely comboed there by LGD to make sure that the Viego just had no chance to even flash and look for something off of the back of it. So, but with the Rift Herald going down in mid, V5 going to be able to pick up their second Drake of the game. It is going to be a Cloud Rift. Had a lot of those recently. I do believe it was.
But it's going to give the window for LGD to go back to looking for that turret top. I like that Elias is not putting him in a position to be dove by the members of LGD on that side of the map.
Well, soul point now for B5. They've got themselves a opportunity now as the Cloud Soul. Viego backing away from this bot, or top side. This bot side is going to be crashed into with the Rift Herald. I will say with the Rift Herald, you are a lot faster to take these tier 2 turrets, so V5 might be able to gain on that. And you can see already that LGD are recognizing that potential push as they're going to put everyone back onto that bot side. Pretty much all members of their team are going forward with a Fearness will be enough to scare away PZX and Uniboy, but the tower is low, so a little bit of freestanding gold potentially. And this is good for V5. They're dictating the pace. They're the ones that are pulling and pushing LGD around the map, and it's LGD enough to take all these standing goals. They got a lot of turrets very, very low, so they're the ones that are able to push this one forward. As I say that, we are going to see the Crescent Guard used immediately. Good shockwave to disengage, though. As we can see now, there's the curtain call coming out. They're going to try and pepper down these health bars, but PZX is there. But now, speaking of which, Fearness did TP onto the back end of this, trying to use the needlework. Will take down Kepler, but will lose their life. 1-for-1 after an engage that was started by V5. They were pushed back, and Fearness went a little bit too far forward.
Pack being so overzealous trying to find those kills, they weren't able to follow up after that goes down. But Mark
did not sweep the bush. Yep, did not sweep the bush. There was a Trinket Ward just sitting there that gave them full knowledge of exactly what was going on. ZYF does get taken down. That's a nice map.
And now we're going to see V5 keep pushing the tempo by looking for this play on bot side.
Yep, they're going to find it. There's going to be enough CC and enough damage. Uniboy picks up his first kill of the game, 1-0 and 6. That's a nice move here by V5, capitalizing on just a lack of awareness here from the LGD top laner. They come back into this fight. It's going to be a stopwatch here for both of them. So I love this from V5 saying, look, this is the fight. This is how we come back into this. And as I say that, Kepler has been caught with his hands in the cookie jar and gets absolutely destroyed. But now LGD, they're on the wrong side of this fight. Mark has no flashes. He used it to try and kill off ZYF last time around. He gets hooked, he gets killed, and now you don't really have it engaged. It's 4v4 coming into this blast dragon fight. It's going to be soul points here. The shockwave does land, stops Elias from going any further. Good stopwatch use there from Elias to keep himself alive, but not able to keep himself alive long enough. Uniboy now forced to flash away. You can see now the Olaf pushing in, gets one kill back. It's a very scrappy affair, very scrappy team fight, but it is LGD who pick up 3 and only lose 2.
Yeah, LGD coming out ahead in the fight. The shockwave was interesting. I actually don't think any damage went off onto Elias, but still, I mean, it was between a bunch of members, went down in the end. They had the damage to pick him off, and LGD were the ones who started it off. They found the...
Who you are on the side of V5. You're looking at nearly 3 items for the Orianna, nearly 2 items or 2.5 items. As I said, I'm going to stop myself straight away as we do see the Zhonya's popped here by the Nautilus. ZYF forced to flash away. They have found Fearness, or excuse me, not Fearness, Shadow, as he gets caught out on his own sum. And that's a 1-for-1 trade, but jungler dead now for the side of LGD, which means V5 might look for the Baron.
V5 don't exactly have a great frontline, a great ability to turn without their Nautilus, so if they do start the Baron, I feel like LGD can just come, play off their ranges, and look to kite them down a little bit with especially the Orianna ball, because you don't have a great way of turning unless the stun from Diego does land.
So much, and that means you no longer have the Heartbreaker, you no longer have the Realm Warp, and speaking of which, you're going to see, ZYF deleted right now as Shadow takes about half his HP there with a triple stacked Blighted Quiver on top of the piercing arrows. So again, LGD crawling back into this one. They're going to TP back into mid. Fearness now with a full health bar and mana bar, able to kind of keep this one going, and V5 have to give up the dragon, and this is going to extend that Dragon Soul for another 5 minutes, and this is where the game starts to run away from them. I actually feel like LGD are the ones that are going to be the more proactive from this point on.
And going back to what we just saw, it was a bit of a head scratcher with ZYF walking into that brush after you know they're there. So again, I'm a bit confused on what ZYF was looking for. I think if you're bringing Uniboy and Shadow finding it engaged though.
Shadow jumping straight onto the 2 solo laners. That is deletion. 2 stopwatches onto Uniboy does not help you here, my friend. He gets his first death of the game. And that's enough of a go sign for LGD. But just looking before we came into this fight, looking at the amount of magic resistance on V5, they have none. It's literally Elias and that's it, but they're not going to be able to need it. Look at the chunk damage that this Orianna is doing. No one can stand a chance against her, and that's another quick kill for LGD. They turn back onto the Baron, 4,000 HP. They jump over, but they're not going to be able to get the blast code. It's going to have to be a flash suicide mission here for PZX if he wants to keep this one for his team. Baron down to about 3,000 HP. You can't really tank this endlessly if you're on LGD. You have to commit to it at some point, and they haven't cleared out that vision. There it is! Steal for PZX! He flashes over the wall. He'll give his life, but not before Gwen gets taken down. V5 not dead yet. Threshold, and now 2 minutes until that dragon spawns. You've Baron on V5, but they're not out of this one just yet. Hex flash over the wall. We're going to see 2 people getting jumped on, but it's going to be the first stopwatch for Uniboy. He still has 2 of those available to him. Shadow, though, using the Crescent Guard to keep himself alive. Look at the damage right onto the backside of this. Shockwave only lands onto 1, and it is going to be soaked up by the Ragnarocking Olaf, but Uniboy trying his very, very best to keep this one alive. Elias, though, maybe he has to tank 1 more. No, he can't! It's a full crit Jhin, and that means you are dead to rights. Somebody had to die. LGD still looking in control of this game.
It goes back to what we were talking about earlier about the 5v5 setups coming out. I guess it wasn't a full-on 5v5 for V5 because some members getting pushed out of the fight early, but that is where LGD's composition thrives from having...
They did their work before they came to class, and they got the waves pushing in their favor. But look at that. That's your tankiest member. As we can see now, ZYF going to have to flash away. He has to pop himself into the Zhonya's to keep himself alive, but he's dead to rights before he can get anything else done. The rest of the team can't do it. Shockwave does miss spectacularly, and LGD Shadow takes a lot of damage. The Chain of Corruption used in defense, but LGD get the Baron. They've got the sideways pushing. They're in just total control.
And you can just tell Victory 5 don't have any answers, right? Because that's why they looked for what they just did of moving ZYF towards the mid lane. Because, that was actually some good damage.
It was. Elias does end up getting over the wall with his Heartbreaker, so he's not going to die just yet. PZX was on the bot side. Just under 40 seconds until that.
Elias is going to be able to get out once again, but Victory 5's early game is just so solid, coming off the back of PZX's performances consistently. But then you can just see once we get to this point in the game, they just don't know what to do. They haven't been looking for those picks.
Great game, but he's had some good moments. It's just, as you said, just being picked off, nothing he can really do, and you can tell probably 1,400 on those crits. Now the Infinity Edge has been finished. Shadow just get hit by the Chain of Corruption and by piercing arrows, so those triple Blighted Quivers procs will take a lot of damage into you as we jump straight back into the fight. This is the final stand here for V5 in this game. They just haven't got the damage. They have waited too long to pull the trigger, and this is going to be the final shots put into their back, as you can see, just ripping through their health bars as the rest of the LGD push forward, take the bait, take everything, and Uni Boy, your KDA shall not be saved today. You shall go down. Perfect ace, clean as you like. You'll push in the mid and end the game.
Nice statement from LGD in game one. Let's remember this is their last series of the split, so wanting to end on a positive note. Victory 5 on the opposite end are the same, but not able to